AI used to be a rare piece of coding that could do a pre-programmed task for you on its own, sought after by millions. Now, found in places as big as Tesla and as small as the coding bots in every version of Minecraft. It all started in 1951, written by Christopher Strachey. A simple game like checkers called draughts is what he made. Later, in 1959, Strachey again invented the concept of time sharing using reactive AI. His code simply just made clocks all synchronized, but that was still a huge success. The first coding program came out on the 21st of June 2011. It allowed people who could get their hands on it to create reactive AI for themselves via coding. Reactive AI is one of the simplest types of AI there is. It's easy to relate to, but if you enter a response that doesn't have an already coded outcome, then the program will close and the code will stop running. Some components that the program needs to have are machine learning, natural language processing, and computer vision. A great example of reactive AI are self-driving cars. They have their advantages, but also a lot of disadvantages. A great thing to think about is that coders have to make all the decisions that the cars would have to make in every possible situation, including life-threatening ones. So if you want to be the one that decide the priorities over people's lives and can handle the stress, then coding would be a good place to look if you're interested. People getting kicked out of jobs. A big ethical problem is the fact that people will get kicked out of jobs with the incoming AI that could replace the jobs of call centers and also could be automated customer helpers. Now, this is good in the fact that it will improve the speed and clarity of answers, but it's also a bad thing. In case you hadn't noticed, the unemployment rate of Australia is currently going down, but it's still at a pretty high number at 4% of all Australia's population. Those people that are getting kicked out of jobs will probably bring the percentages up by 1 or so percent. Even with all the new jobs coming out, there will still be a big increase in unemployment. Racist/outdated data. It is very much likely that the data imported from websites or networks could be racist. In the past, humans have been very racist in the court of law and otherwise, so the program will have to have specifically picked out data from networks, or it has to be coded by a group of people for a longer period of time, but for an ideal outcome. Otherwise, some people will be prioritized based on their skin color, which you are very likely to get sued for if you created the program. Only benefit already large companies. The large companies that made the AI will be able to sell it for a lot of money, right? Well, what about new and smaller businesses? They aren't in the cycle, are they? The big companies sell it to the other big companies that can pay big dollars for the technology, leaving out the smaller companies. That may not be a problem for the big companies, but it does make it extremely hard for the smaller companies to actually get a chance. People not knowing that they're communicating with AI. What if people didn't know that they were communicating with AI? It is a completely realistic problem because some people expect certain things from humans, and humans have certain traits like second chances and understanding that can't be programmed. If someone doesn't know that it's AI, then they will treat it as if it's a real human that will give them a different result as if they knew it was AI. Solutions. People not knowing that it's AI. A way to fix this is to make sure that before the conversation starts, The AI informs or something else that will let the person know that they're not a human so that they give the correct response. Another way to do this is to have big advertisements or have information on the website so that it's impossible to miss. Racist data. Racist data. A way to stop racist data is to code everything from scratch. This may take a long time, but is probably the only way to be 100% sure that it won't be racist or sexist. You might be able to give it access to certain websites to let it learn off, except there is always a possibility that it could become racist or unfair via something that you didn't see in said website. People out of work. The problem of people getting kicked out of work because of AI is probably the worst ethical problem. To solve it, we would probably have to open up more jobs that aren't all mining coal and low-paying jobs, or we would have to just not let AI take over jobs. Making larger companies more profitable. To fix this, the government should make a law that all businesses deserve a bit of new technology to do with what they will, or else then there won't be any more big companies. Also, they could make it so that there's a group of companies that help each other out and they have to contribute to other people as well. The end.